Why?
I really don't.
What do you think of black people?
I don't like them.
Why?
I really don't. Because I just think that they're always looking out to make trouble.
Better turn around, Yum. Let's go back. It is the new boy running with that.
We were riding down this block, and these white people start saying, "Get out of here, niggas! You know, get out of my neighborhood. Don't come to this neighborhood." And then they start hitting on her,
Throwing rocks and everything else.
throwing rocks. Because we were in their neighborhood.
We went on a bike hike to McDonald's. We didn't mean to bother anybody.
We had a nice
saw a parade, we saw a gathering, so we went down there to see what was happening. I never even know people around here were like that. I've never experienced anything like this in my life.
And I was sure what she had. It hit me with that rock. I would pick up the rock right next to me and hit him right dead in his face. They always say niggas is doing everything. They always say we're doing everything, right? Every time the white people come down the block, we don't push them out their neighborhood and throw rocks and start hitting them. We don't bother the white people around our neighborhood, but when we get in a white neighborhood, they just push us out.
Yeah. Everybody was upset. They said we're nothing, you know, they were a piece of dirt, dogs. I mean, that's the way you treat an animal. I mean, God, we're human beings. Yeah. You don't treat other people like that. It's just wrong. Black, white, I don't care. A person is a person. Skin should have no bearing on how you treat a person. That's just wrong.
I hate their goddamn guts.
You don't hate them. I can't say that I hate them. I can't say that it's totally the kids' fault. I mean, I'm sure their parent had some bearing on the way they feel and everything else. I think it's just the system. I don't know.
How did this terrible thing affect your children? When they ask you these things, why? What do you tell them?
They are good and bad in every people, every race, regardless. Tell them that we just happen to be amongst a few people whose minds are warped. And I'm not going to teach them that, regardless of how many bombs they put at this house. I'm not going to teach my children hate.
What do you think of black people?
I don't like them.
Why?
I really
All right, first and foremost, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha-Rachakodash, double honors to the true apostles of the great millstone who rule well and teach well. It's Brother Yahweh Shai Zion doing this real quick video through the Spirit. Just to basically highlight, man, the wickedness of Esau, Edom, okay, which is the so-called white man. All right. So that's the evil twin brother of Jacob, all right, which is the chosen line, Jacob. And then there's obviously a chosen, well, maybe not obvious to some people, but there's a chosen of the chosen, okay, which is called the elect of the nation of Israel from out of the 12 tribes from which they've been scattered amongst the four corners of the earth. Now, they would have you think that, you know, the Jewish people who do not fit the prophecies, the 1948ers, as the brother had spoken about, were truly the real Israelites. But that's not true, because the Lord, according to prophecy, is going to place the people back in that land, his people, Israel. Remember, he's the Redeemer of Israel, okay? The Redeemer of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay? Through that chosen lineage, the Redeemer of Israel, Redeemer of Jacob. It's written throughout the scriptures, so you have to acknowledge that. The covenants and the contracts, the service of the law, the giving of the Most High's law, and the prophecies were onto Israel. And that's in Romans 9. All right? But as you can see, like the scripture says, as iron rusteth, so does his wickedness. They've never stopped with this sentiment that this kid's about to say. And they come out of the womb speaking lies. So the moment they're able to process information, they're wicked. Okay? They try to get over and destroy things and hurt people and do things that are terrible. That's just the soul of the nation of Esau, Edom. Their mind is corrupted. So just listen here.
No. Because I just think that they're always looking out to make trouble.
And when these kids weren't doing anything, they were just driving down the street trying to associate with the other kids, thinking, we're all just going to play. I don't know what's going on. Let's just have a good time. And nah, man, it was tensions. There's been racial tension, really from inside the womb of Rebecca. All right, with Rebecca's womb, it says 2 nations are in thy womb. Matter of fact, let's go to it. Let me show you the tension. 2 nations. Okay. Genesis 25 and 23. And the Lord Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Well, clearly, various boxing matches and everything. Track and field, football, boxing, UFC, all the main champions that have dominated every single sport that there is to be physical in are all so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans predominantly. And especially the so-called black man, which is the tribe of Judah. All right? That's the top tribe of the nation of Israel. So there's 2 nations in the womb, and they were separated from their bowels, right? And ultimately, they had that anger from inside that womb, okay? When there was literally, it says right here, Genesis 25 and verse number 22, it says, and the children, talking about Jacob and Esau, struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, Yahweh. Okay, so she probably went to one of the prophets, and the prophets told her what the deal was. Okay? And that's just what it is. So that's how the Lord speaks to his servants, the prophets. Okay? Amos 3 and 7. Surely the Lord Yahweh power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret to his servants, the prophets. And that's basically what's going on, you see? So through the Spirit, this is the tension that you have even today, to this day.
Right up there.
And look, that girl ain't even scared of that whole crowd because she's like, I'm stronger than this woman. I'm stronger than this little white girl. In a fair fight, she would knock her damn head off. And the same thing like most of us. You know what I'm saying? Most of us, a fair fight with us versus Esau, without his gun in his hand or his sword, he ain't had no power, man. Because we're stronger, according to the scriptures and the prophecy. But what do we know? We're just living in reality, right? Watching it unfold, seeing the scriptures actually come to fruition, okay? And the scriptures are true, because it's facts. That's sad, man. Probably a nice young girl, with a nice mother, who raised her right and taught her morals and values to treat people with respect. And she's shocked at this type of shit. Now, the modern day so-called black woman today has been brainwashed and calculated to be targeted, as well as the fathers to be out of their houses at this point. It's a high level. So that's why they have degenerated so much now, current day. But deep down, we are not like that. We're not supposed to be like that. And they will have their right state of mind in the kingdom, okay? Our women are going to be back into their order and their feminine state, have their hair back and just be good to go. You know what I'm saying? Be the best of the best once again,
You best better turn around, y'all.
See, he's only big and bad, that little kid. He only big and bad with that whole crew over there to back him up. He don't got the heart to say that shit one-on-one.
There's a new boy running with that.
We were riding down this block, and these white people start saying, get out of here, niggas. Get out of my neighborhood. Don't come to the...
Yeah. See, they were starting the shit, okay?
And then they start hitting on her.
throwing rocks and everything else.
Throwing rocks. Because we were in their neighborhood.
We went on a bike hike to McDonald's. We didn't mean to bother anybody.
We had a nice
we saw a parade, we saw a gathering, so we went down there to see what was happening. I never even know people around here were like that. I've never experienced anything like this in my life.
And I was sure wish she had hit me with that rock. I would pick up the rock right next to me and hit him right dead in his face. They always say niggas is doing.
So that's just righteous indignation because, you know what I mean? They were done dirty first. They ain't come up against them, approaching nobody and messing with them. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it's supposed to be. However, all the brainwashing, the music, the social media, the pressure, not having a father, and the mother being completely manipulated by social media as well to be a prostitute and a harlot, you know, where she's basically just selling her ass, basically to get to the next stage in life, just to raise her kids, you know what I'm saying? Just being with any guy that she can, being hypergamous, trying to upgrade and shit and all of this Beyonce shit, just to basically make it, because the so-called white man has meticulously broken down the psyche and the mind of the woman of our nation. All right, the so-called black woman, Hispanic, and Native American, they think that they got to go to college. They think that they got to do these different things, participate in regular holidays. They don't need a man. They could do everything by themselves, become single mothers, not care, talk shit to their man. They're above their man. They got rights and all of these things that they don't need to listen. They don't need any structure. They don't need any order, when that's false. All right? Everything's a role reversal. All right? When you women are young, you're supposed to be under your father. And then your father's leadership is supposed to be basically put upon the man so that you marry, which is supposed to be authorized by your man. Excuse me, by your husband, rather your father. And then your mother is going to be replaced by the woman that you marry. She's supposed to be nurturing, loving, you know what I mean, and helping you, being a help me unto you, and also providing warmth, okay, when being with you physically. That's something that your mother could not do. That's why you would leave your mother and father and cleave onto your wife, because she provides you the love that the mother cannot, can no longer give to you, because now it's time for you to procreate and have your own family. And the society breaks up this family. And there's still this tension between Jacob and Esau, because that's in the scriptures. All right? Two nations, even in the womb, were struggling within Rebecca. Okay? And so she was saying, well, if I'm blessed, then why am I feeling like this? Because there's a lot of pain inside here, because these kids are fighting. And that's the reason why, because ultimately the blessing was going to come upon Jacob, all right? And Esau was going to have this type of hatred because he was really the one who sold his birthright, because it was all ordained. He wasn't supposed to take the leadership role. He wrestled Jacob out of it, and that's why the Lord put by Esau and chose Jacob, okay? Because he was a shiesty little demon, even from the womb.
Everything. They always say weirds ring everything, right? Every time the white people come down the block, we don't push them out their neighborhood and throw rocks and start hitting them. We don't bother the white people around our neighborhood, but when we get in a white neighborhood, they just push us out.
Yeah, everybody with us, they said we're nothing, they were a piece of dirt, dogs. I mean, that's the way you treat an animal. I mean, God, we're human beings. Yeah. You don't treat other people like that. It's just wrong. Black, white, I don't care. A person is a person. Skin should have no bearing on how you treat a person. That's just wrong.
I hate that goddamn gut.
You don't hate.
Yeah, that's the pain we had to endure, man. You know what I'm saying? That's that same pain that we had to endure for several years. And even now, you know what I mean? There are little companies that they got set up. They sell you a line of bullshit. They use you for your... Like with me in my company, you know what I'm saying? They use me for my talent because I'm extremely talented at what we do, right? And I've been doing this shit for years. You know what I mean? I'm just a good communicator from having to be in that profession and literally just to survive in life in general, And they use me just to basically build up their companies, and then they do dastardly things with, the power that they've been given. They mismanage it. It's just like the earth today. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not where and who is he? It's definitely the so-called white man, the Edomite, okay? Esau, Edom. Not the way by he looks, but by His lineage is absolutely the devil, okay? He's the deceiver. So he's mismanaged the earth. What has he done? He's caused friction everywhere. He tries to take over everything. He steals oil and reserves and resources from other areas, right? Steals oil, destroys communities, pins them against each other, just like the Arab world, the Arab nations trying to cause dissension amongst enemies. And that's in the Book of Power. They're exercising all the wickedness in the Book of Power by Robert Greene. Okay? He uses it to a T to manipulate others, to basically destroy the family unit. He's using this tactic against us now. This is his wickedness. Put him in a bad spot where they're going to have to, basically fight amongst each other in order to get ahead. And there's no other way. That's called capitalism. Literally, capitalism is fucking wicked. Democracy as well. Yeah, let's put power in the hands of the regular people who are stupid. When all the meanwhile, it's actually a dictatorship. Behind the scenes, it's a dictatorship. They would have you think that your vote counts and all this stuff, but really Esau is the devil. He's a master manipulator, mastermind behind the scenes and doing stuff. You don't even know what he's doing to you. He's so wicked. He's doing so much folly. Okay? And the Lord's going to catch up with him. Trust me. The Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, is going to catch up with these devils. And he's going to put them down, I promise you. Okay? We're not going to be under this leadership no more, man.
I can't say that I hate them. I can't say that it's totally the kid's fault. I mean, I'm sure.
I hate them. I hate them with perfect hatred. The scriptures say that. And this is the problem with some of our people. They don't understand in the scriptures that it's okay to hate. Do I not hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? Yea, I hate them with perfect hatred. All right, in the scriptures, roughly paraphrasing. Do I not hate them that hate thee, O Lord? And Esau hates the Lord, because if you're the Lord's friend, or if you love the Lord, you would keep the commandments. He don't keep the commandments. He goes selling a bunch of unrighteous food to people, like pork, shrimp, and lobster, taking them out, which is supposed to clean the ecosystem. He takes them out of there and feeds it to our people, knowing that that's breaking the commandments too. And guess who he targets with those types of foods? Fried shrimp and all that shit. He made that a cultural thing. And chitlins and shit. Chitlins is a cultural thing for so-called black people, man. And Hispanic and Native American. Because that's what they would feed your ass. Why do you think they cook chuletas so much out there in Puerto Rico? And panin. Why do you think they fuck with that? Because that's what they were given in slavery. And that's the good old days, man. This is hometown cooking, man. It's like old times, man. But it's really wicked, okay? And it's really keeping you and separating you between you and your power, which is Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right? And I encourage a lot of you Akim to go on a fast as well. Okay? Because it needs to be said. Somebody needs to hear it. You know what I mean? You haven't fasted for a while, and you got to go on a fast immediately, as soon as possible. And follow the Matthew 6 protocol of how to do it. Don't announce it. Just handle your business. And do what the Lord said in the scriptures. And all of us need to really fast often, okay? Because there's going to be a time where you're going to have to rely on being in the spirit 100% in order to overcome a lot of the obstacles that are going to present itself in life and around in general, okay? Abstain from some of these foods, too. It's just all this eating all the time, feeding your flesh all the time, stimulus from online and all of this shit, this constant TikTok and Instagram shit. It's constant stimulus that's wicked. None of it's productive. And again, this is part of Esau's wickedness. And that's why we hate him. We don't love him.
Their parents had some bearing on the way they feel and everything else. I think it's just a system. I don't know.
How did this terrible thing affect your children? When they ask you these things, why? What do you tell them?
There are good and bad in every people, every race, regardless. Tell them that we just happen to be amongst a few people whose minds are warped. And I'm not going to teach them that, regardless of how many bombs.
You see, he still don't understand. They dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You don't understand the minds of a guy who would authorize something like that to kill 1 million people all at one time. You know what a piece of shit you got to be to authorize that? the American president that authorized that bombing, which really wasn't him, it was really the higher ups. It was the Rothschilds. Okay, they targeted Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Which I really got to go into exactly what was going on prior to that, because I bet you I'm gonna find something out. Okay. And anybody that's about truth, you know, they try to eliminate them. That's why they try to do that with Yahweh Shai. They try to do it with different prophets when they were getting cut to the heart, you know. John the Baptist was beheaded when he told the truth about the adultery that, you know, his brother of, Herod Antipas was sleeping with his brother Philip's wife. You know, when they were no longer together, you can't marry your brother's woman after he was already with her. That's unrighteous. So people who reveal truth are treated as enemies and need, you know, public enemy number one and got to be eliminated. That's pure wickedness, man. All right. Aaron Russo with the taxes thing. You know what I mean? And he uncovered a lot of wickedness from that movie, From Freedom to Fascism, which is a great movie that's on YouTube. I encourage everybody to watch it. He got probably put to death not too long after that movie. He died early. Gee whiz, I wonder why. Dr. Sabi also was proven to cure various ailments that were so-called incurable. They put him to death. Okay? Those false wars, like I said, when you go into Hiroshima and Nagasaki, I bet you probably find something that this so-called white man really did, the Esau, the Edomite, that he pulled some type of string. One of the Rothschilds got crossed, or some central banking system or something, just like what happened with Libya when they took out Gaddafi and, you know, different various so-called dictators. You know, they took them down, demonized them on the internet and online and on the social media and on news media, demonized him like he was a demon when really, like Saddam Hussein, there was no weapons of mass destruction. He didn't have shit. He didn't have anything. Those guys are living in the desert, man. They ain't got no technology like that. So, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, you know, all things are going to be revealed eventually, brothers. All right. So we're going to be up out of here, man. You know, like I said, comfort your mind with this. All right. Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord Yahweh with all your heart and lean not onto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Okay? Don't worry about nothing that's going on up in here in this fake-ass society. The Lord's going to take care of all of this. He's going to bring it down where it belongs. Just like what happened with my company. The bad leadership got removed. And they really believed in their heart of hearts. They had certain people on lock. They was for lifers with them. And they ripped them out. They ripped us all out of there and put us under better people who are stronger, way more resources, and appear to care a lot more about the people that work for them rather than them, you know. All right. Let's keep listening in real quick, see if we can find something else, too.
They put at this house. I'm not going to teach my children hate.
I'm going to teach my children hate. I'm going to teach them to hate the evil and love the good. Like the scriptures say. You don't hate people for no reason. You hate the evil, man. Somebody, say for instance, taking a hamster and putting them in a microwave and just killing them for no reason. That's a piece of shit person, man. You're supposed to hate that person that does that shit. Because that's a twisted mind. You got demonic spirit. You got spirits on you. And you killing that which is innocent, man. And a wise man careth for the life of his beast. That's crazy to do that. Here you are with a precious little creature and you're going to put it in a microwave or in an oven? What are you, fucking demonic? See, the Most High, I'm telling you. And Esau's a mad scientist. He does shit like that. Just for fun. That's wickedness. And the crazy part is he does it with people. He does that with the so-called black man. Okay? Using our skin to make boots and shit. That's so crazy, man. Oh, my God.
Yeah, second.
Yeah, it looks like some real troublemaking people, huh? Yeah, right. Totally in order. Yeah, look at them doing their wickedness, huh? See, they're over here trying to be righteous, man. That's what they're trying to do. You know, they're trying to do a baptism, but, you know, the real true baptism is through the Holy Spirit, which is the preaching of the gospel, preaching of the Holy Scriptures and the understanding of the Scriptures. That's the true Holy Spirit, okay? The true baptism. There's nothing wrong with doing the baptism, but it's not required, you know? And this is just one video here showing you that the shit that was played in the previous video is not really true. Now, is it? They're just always up to something. Doesn't look like it. All the women are covered up.
Wouldn't send them back to...
Oh, no.
Where are they, McDonough or France?
McDonough 19, and my little boy, he's in the room, Miss Myers' room with the 3 little niggas.
I see, and you took your boy out the first day?
The 3 little girls that woman was talking about were Leona Tate, Gail Etienne, and Tessie Prevost. Just days before that interview, the 3 girls had become the first black students to integrate the all-white McDonough 19 elementary school in New Orleans. And they each had to be escorted by armed U.S. Marshals because there was a very large, angry crowd of demonstrators protesting their presence.
My mother telling me before we left the house, when the marshals arrived to pick us up, she said, when you get in presence, my mother telling me.
Cursed is the man who integrates Jeremiah 11:3-6. See, look at them trying to take our book and trying to talk shit.
Telling me before we left the house, when the marshals arrived to pick us up, she said, when you get in that car, you sit to the back of that seat and don't put your face to the window. The street was just overwhelmed with people.
And I just felt like if they could get to me, they'd want to kill me, and I didn't know why.
The protesters were shouting threats, racial slurs, spitting, and chanting, "We don't want to integrate."
The only thing I could associate this with was Mardi Gras. We got there, we got out the car, and my daddy said, "Give me your hand." He said, "I'm here." He said, "Look straight ahead."
We got in the classroom. I remember parents coming in and just grabbing their kids by the hand because the kids sitting at the desk and just yanking them up and taking them out the classroom.
After a while, it was Leona, Gail, and myself, and the teacher, Miss Myers.
Only 3 students to attend McDonough 19 that entire school year.
We were not allowed to eat from the school. The water fountains were turned off. The only time we saw outside was when we came to school in the morning and when we left in the afternoon.
Now let's run it back to that first interview for a second. Pay attention to what the reporter asked.
Where are they, McDonough or France?
McDonough.
France or McDonough? See, Gail, Leona, and Tess integrated McDonald 19 on November 14th, 1960, the exact same day that Ruby Bridges was escorted by U.S. Marshals to integrate William Frantz Elementary School, also in New Orleans. William Frantz and McDonald 19, blocks away from each other. All 4 of these women are civil rights heroes. The story of Ruby Bridges went on to rightfully become famous, known in paintings and movies and textbooks.
Ruby Bridges.
The McDonald 3 are mostly forgotten, erased, barely even mentioned in history.
Left McDonald 19 after 2nd grade. McDonald 19 had become predominantly black, and the thing was to keep us in a white school. So we were transferred to T.J. Sims. This time we did not have U.S. Marshals or police protection. That was not a good experience.
You wouldn't send them.
How many clothes you got there all the time, looking on? Yeah, how many clothes you got there to wash? Oh, I got lots of them yet. How long will you be through? Well, it'll be a long time.
And Oklahoma is a unique space in terms of the number of towns that were established. Some suggest upwards of 50 towns. Between 1924 and 1928, Reverend S.S. Jones was going around documenting this sort of self-determined, vibrant in communities. You see the educators, doctors, lawyers, landowners, oil barons. And I think that's what's so remarkable about this footage. To think that individuals, how many years out of slavery, are now owning oil wells that are producing 2,000 barrels a day. Is that not the ultimate American dream? Is that not the ultimate American story? It flies in the face of what I think some people consider part of American history and culture. And I think that that was one of the things that Oklahoma and what S.S. Jones is really kind of showing is that American history and culture is not a monolith. And in a way, it became kind of like a marketing tool to encourage individuals to migrate, to move there, that this is a place where you can live, you can thrive, and peacefully reside. There were still palpable racial tensions. There are lynchings, there's Jim Crow, segregation, there's all of these things, and you still have an American community, or many communities, that really speak to the fortitude and resilience of Black people in this country.
So the reason why I played that, my brothers, is, you know, not for entertainment at all, but just to show and prove, you know, that the other video that was stated where, oh, you know, they just causing trouble. That does not look like any trouble was being caused at all. All right. We're just under curses.
What do you think of black people?
I don't like them.
Why?
I really don't. Because I just think that they're always looking out to make trouble.
See, now the contrast of what I showed you guys in this footage from back in that around that time, that's 1974. And even before that, in the 1960s, 1920s, all you got is a bunch of humble people just trying to make it, man. Just trying to survive, man. And then you got Esau, who would take people's talent, especially like myself and you brothers, and take modern day and these companies and exploit that talent for low pay. I remember they did the same thing to Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen was very talented, and they exploited it and sold so many seats out there, selling out the place, but wouldn't pay him his money. And people were like, pay Scottie his money. It's bullshit, man. You know what I mean? You know, take him off the team, and that team ain't winning, man. They be mediocre. But having 2 superstars, you're good. 2 all-stars, now you're good. You know? But yeah, man, Lord willing, this was edifying. Don't worry, brothers. You know what I'm saying? We almost out of here, man. We're going to be delivered. And with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Hashem HaRachak Wadash, and on to the next one.